BPA announced today that Namsung Shipping will open a new service route between Busan Port and Malaysia from early July. The company will deploy 2,500 TEUs on the new route, and the destinations include Busan, Gwangyang, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Singapore, Port Klang, Penang, and more.
올해 추석부터 부산의 공원묘지에서 플라스틱 조화가 금지됩니다. 부산시는 오늘 영락공원을 운영하는 부산시설공단과 민간이 운영하는 공원묘지 4곳 등과 업무 협약을 체결하고 공원묘지의 플라스틱 조화 근절을 위해 협력하기로 했습니다. 한편 한국화훼자조금협의회는 추석을 앞두고 생화헌화 캠페인을 벌일 예정입니다.
Starting from this year's Chuseok holiday, artificial flowers will be prohibited at cemeteries in Busan. The Busan Facilities Management Corporation, which operates Yeonglak Park, signed a business agreement with 4 privately operated cemeteries and relevant organizations today to cooperate in eliminating artificial flowers at the cemeteries. Meanwhile, the Korean Flower Wholesalers Association plans to launch a campaign to offer fresh flowers to families before Chuseok.
2030 부산 세계박람회 유치를 기원하는 영어 스피치 대회가 내일 오후 2시 부산시청에서 열립니다. 부산시와 2030 부산 월드엑스포 범시민유치위원회, 2030 부산 세계박람회 유치 범여성 추진협의회가 개최하는 이번 대회는 2030 부산 엑스포 개최의 의미와 기대 효과, 유치 염원 등
자연과 사람, 부산에서 누리는 모든 것을 사랑하는 그는 부산의 변함없는 한대에 늘 감탄합니다.
I think that Busan people are actually very kind and very welcoming. If I seemed a little lost, there was always someone that was there to ask me if I needed help. They're more seriously friendly than it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어 나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Laura McLucky and Minsu Shin. BFM 부산영어방송.
Hello. Good evening and welcome to another Thursday here at Inside Out Busan. Question: do you enjoy company dinners?
Yes, of course.
Do you miss these after-work gatherings or not so much?
It's different. It depends on, of course, what you like. Do you like spending hours and hours and hours after your job has officially ended?
With your boss?
With your boss, right? So, 1,000 office workers were asked on their opinion on how often after-work dinners should happen. How many times a year would you prefer to have your after-work get-togethers and dinners?
난 진짜 재밌는데 I don't want it to be like obligatory.
Yeah, of
Anyway,
course.
among the respondents, 24% preferred having company dinners once or twice a year, while others suggested having them once per quarter.
그래 말이에요. I think having lunch maybe is a bit better than a late 회식.
맞아요.
And of course, if it's free and it's a comfortable atmosphere, I mean, why not every day?
No.
근데 저는 괜찮습니다.
괜찮아.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never ever after work is over. Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. Work it harder, make it better, do it faster, makes us stronger. More than ever, hour after hour, work is never over. never over. Work it, make it better. Do it faster, makes it stronger. That never power. Work is never over. Work it harder, make it better. Do it faster, makes it stronger. That never power. Work is never over. Work it harder, faster, makes it stronger. Work it never over. Work it harder. Do it faster. Our work is never over. Work it harder. Make you better. Do it faster. Makes us stronger. Hour after our work is never over.
Never over. Broke it. Work it. Do it faster, stronger.
Welcome back,
You know,
everybody.
the highlight of that song happens like halfway to it. I wish they started with that. So, oh, it's just so fun. Daft Punk. Harder, better, faster, stronger.
I had a little dance there. I don't know why you weren't dancing. 여러분, did you see my dancing on YouTube?
If you didn't, you could come onto our YouTube because she's going to do it 5 more times throughout the show.
I will. Do you know what? I taught a kids dance class today
Oh, nice. That sounds
here in
fun.
Sansom. So I teach kids classes. I teach yoga. I teach Zumba.
Do those classes ever, break into like dance battles?
Chaos. It's absolute chaos. You have to stop the kids from smashing themselves into the mirrors. It's absolute chaos. But they have so much fun and they get
재밌겠다.
exhausted, so the moms love it.
Aww.
Hi, Annie.
That sounds fun. We're going to read everybody that comes to the studio, whether they have a mic or not.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I'm Min Soo-shin.
Oh, yeah. I'm Laura McCluskey. This is Inside Out Busan.
That it is. So we started talking about the show. Started the show talking about the show. 회식. Already,
yeah.
HK님 on our YouTubes. 배용고님, good evening. I really hate 회식. Yeah, I mean it gets a bad rap.
나는 괜찮다.
But for a lot of people, I think these days with the change in culture, it's changed,
Yeah.
right? Well, according to a survey, let's see what other people are thinking. 47% of respondents appreciated the positive change when it comes to their 회식. And this took place after the pandemic, as they no longer felt pressured to go out and drink. Also, to add to that, even when attending these after-work get-togethers and dinners, 40% of the survey respondents found it favorable that the events now ended earlier than they did in the past.
Yeah.
So 요즘에 그냥 한 1차 정도까지 하고 끝나는가 봐요.
근데 난 3차까지 좋아요. 노래방까지 좋아요. 나는.
힘들어.
근데 I never go like to 노래방 these days, so that's why I would really want to go. But on the other hand, 67% of the respondents said that 회식 was burdensome because it's like an obligation to attend, right?
맞아요.
Because the boss wants to go out drinking, so you're like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
And if you say no, you're at risk of 눈치.
Yeah. And when you say no, and most of the time it's like, oh, it's fine. But is it really fine?
But is it really fine? And you're
Yeah.
thinking, is it really fine? So I'm quite happy. I'm full on like, I'm not going to drink soju and the blah, blah, blah
Yeah.
to any of our 대표님s.
Uh-huh.
Like, Laura, well, let's go for 회식. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Or, no, I can't. Good. That's it. I don't feel any 부담.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful for, people that have none of that ticket here
Yeah,
at
because it doesn't
BFM.
happen.
Yeah.
It's just like, let's go. And, like, we hang out and we talk about fun stuff.
But then, we're so, we're so thankful for these, awesome, people that we work with, but
맞아요.
it's not the case for everybody else. you know
맞아요.
what
Because
I mean?
usually it's the boss that kind of determines the 분위기, the atmosphere of the 회식.
맞아요. Also, a lot of office workers in the survey, they mentioned feeling stressed when they have to try to read the boss's mind. You mentioned 눈치, right? Having 눈치, what the boss is thinking. I mean, is it really okay if I don't go? Or is he saying it's fine, but does he really mean it? 이런 것도 막 다 고민해야 되고요. Also, engaging in 감정 노동, emotional labor during 회식. Like you're stressed, but you have to force yourself to smile, right? Yeah, so these are all things that a lot of people, like and don't like about 회식.
Yeah.
자, 그러면 회식의 매너는 무엇입니까? 그러면, like, what would you say is the etiquette?
So, I mean, I've been to a lot of 회식s, and some of them have devolved into chaos very quickly. And some of them have been just very pleasant, very nice. And some of them have been very eye-opening, and I don't know, I think on one level it's fun and it's good to be able to like be closer to your boss. But as a foreigner,
Yeah.
I don't think that I have the same pressure as a Korean would. So etiquette for me would be the same as etiquette for anything else. Just be super polite
그쵸.
because it's the boss.
Yeah.
But you know, just don't worry too much about it. But I
Yeah.
think if I was Korean, it would be very different.
맞아요.
So I don't really know the etiquette.
Good to keep in mind. Now, when it comes to people that have higher positions, I'm talking to all the 사장님s and the 대표님s and
Yeah.
the 과장님s, right?
과자.
네, 과자.
과자님s.
Hungry. 과장님s. Please leave earlier than expected during your 회식.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier for all your, I don't want to say underlings, but you know, people that work
Underlings.
people that
Undercarriage.
work for you or people that you consider your staff, right? It makes it so much easier for them. It gives them a peace of mind to, for them also to head home when they need to,
나가세요.
when they want to.
Yeah.
네, 그래서 먼저 가는 게
Leave your card.
but also
and go.
leave your card. 맞아요. 카드 남기고 가십시오. 네. So that's what people are thinking about 회식 these days.
Yeah. You can just go up the mountain and go for a hike.
Yeah, that's.
How about
I like that too.
chilling out? As always.
맞아요. Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Even at the office, it's fine too. We don't really have a hangout corner here at the station, though.
Have you not seen the bit with all the trees?
Oh, that's the hangout corner?
It's a hangout corner. By the way, we want to know what you think. 회식은
그쵸.
어때요?
네.
좋아요? 싫어요? 샵 9050 pound 9050 KakaoTalk. You can get in touch on the text message for 101. KakaoTalk is free, or you can get onto YouTube and send us a message over there. Let us know. Do you like 회식 or do you hate 회식?
맞아요. We already have 류창효님 looking forward to our second half gaslighting요. That is our topic for the second half special corner, Mind Talk Talk. Mr. E, 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요, Mr. E. Also, 사랑돼요 23님, good evening to you as well.
Hello.
Join us on our YouTubes. It's fun. 재밌어요.
맞아요.
Come.
Dun, 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 dun. So what is it time for now?
It is time for News Bites.
Annie's in the studio. She's been here for about 20 minutes already. She's exhausted. Hi, Annie.
It
Hi.
hasn't even been 20 minutes into the show yet.
I just
What
feel
do
like
you
I'm
mean?
watching TV every time I'm sitting here. Just
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
very much so.
Annie. Annie, you came to BFM at a time when like hashicks weren't going on.
Right, but I
Right?
worked in an office for about 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Laura knows my past boss. We did a lot of heshiks.
Oh.
And honestly, I don't like the drinking part. Well, actually, back then I did because I was younger, but I loved it for the food. Because you'd go and get this, like, I had some really nice beef. And because I wasn't like a higher up, I did just like admin and just helping everyone. I didn't have much to talk about. They would talk about projects, and then I'd just sit there and eat all the food. So
Yeah.
I think
good.
it depends how important you are.
If I was in your shoes, yeah, I would want to go to hashicks too.
And I had like 3 pantegis of shrimp. And it was like the nice shrimp, like the Jeju tak새우 stuff. It was good. All by myself.
갑자기 회식하고 싶네요.
뭐 시킬까?
Yeah.
맨날
한우?
시키는데. Yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing with us, Annie. But let's get to today's news. What do you got for us?
Right. A symposium on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the South Korea-U.S. alliance opened today. I believe it ended just about an hour and a half ago. It was hosted by Yonhap News Agency and the Unification Ministry. And on behalf of the president, the Unification Minister, Kwon Young-se, read a message that said that President Yoon's administration will do all that it can to ensure the strengthening of the alliance could serve as a big opportunity for the future generation. The message also stressed that the future generations need to properly understand the value and meaning of this alliance. And also the message included that U.S. President Joe Biden has invited President Yoon and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida to the U.S. for a trilateral summit this summer. The symposium was split into 2 sessions. The first was the reshaping of international order and South Korea's Indo-Pacific. The second part was South Korea's Indo-Pacific strategy and resuming. No, sorry, I messed that up. The first part was international order and South Korea's Indo-Pacific strategy. And then the second part was resuming dialogue with North Korea amid a protracted stalemate in denuclearization talks.
Okay. Lots of subjects being brought up, right?
Do you know what? Whenever I hear about these kind of subjects, it's really overwhelming for my brain to just
Right.
comprehend exactly what it is they're talking about here. So, Yeah, I
But
feel,
they're so
I feel like
like
a dummy.
I mean, but there's such huge, topics that need to cover that affect the whole world,
Yeah.
every major country. I mean, and that's dealt between these three countries. I'm curious, who else presented during the symposium?
Right, just side note, I did want to talk about what they talked about, but it's too big of a topic. So a number of government officials, politicians, and professors presented. But what was notable was Foreign Minister Park Jin. So in his speech, he expressed hope for the trilateral summit that's coming up, for it to serve as another turning point for the three countries. He added that this summit is not only important for issues pertaining to North Korea, but also in regard to regional and global challenges. And then on the alliance, he commented in anticipation that the scope of cooperation will expand further, especially to establish an quote, open, mutually beneficial, and inclusive Indo-Pacific region and international order.
Right. So that is the U.S. Alliance Symposium that has ended just a little bit ago.
Right.
According
It
to
was
Annie,
live
right?
streamed. I believe you can find the clip online as well.
Oh, yeah, right. You could probably rewatch it too. Well, thank you so much for that. What's next?
Right. There is a new unification minister and vice culture minister, as well as a couple of others. So President Yoon Suk-yeol nominated Kim Young-ho, who is a political science professor at Seongshin Women's University. So he will be the new unification minister. And then Chang Mi-ran, which we may be quite familiar with. She's a current professor of physical education at Yongin University, as well as a former Olympic weightlifting gold medalist.
We go. 네.
So she will be the second vice minister of the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism. Very fitting.
I love it when, it's very fitting. I love it when people that have like the background, they know all about because they've done it and almost at the highest of levels, right? When it comes to their respective sport. But to be in the midst of all that and now be in a position where you're leading an organization that kind of looks over and manages sports of the country. Yeah, very fitting.
Right.
Like you said, Annie.
Also, Presidential Chief of Staff Kim Dae-gi announced the results of the partial reshuffle, including the appointment of ministers and vice ministers, at a briefing at the presidential office today.
So what other positions were reshuffled?
Right, there were a ton, but I'll just name a couple. So Kim Hong-il, who is a lawyer and former chief of the Busan High Prosecutor's Office, was appointed as the minister-level position of chief of the Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission, which I've talked about a bajillion times. He said he will work to quickly stabilize the commission and also focus on its proper role. Also, Oh Young-ju, who is ambassador to Vietnam, was named second vice foreign minister, while ambassador to Thailand, Moon Seung-hyun, was named vice unification minister. There were also changes to the vice ministers of the ministries of finance, science, agriculture, environment, labor, land, oceans, and SMEs.
That's a lot of changing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a lot of
Quick shake-up.
shuffling.
A big shakeup, actually. Yeah.
That's not even the shuffle. That's a cha-cha slide.
Well, I was just happy to see Chang Mi-ran.
Yeah, me too. Cha-cha slide. I haven't heard that in quite a while. Well, thank you so much for that rundown of all the new names. Let's move on to our last bit of news.
Right. I don't know the status of your salt supplies at your homes, but many citizens actually gathered at a mart over in Seoul as soon as it opened at 9 a.m., as it was the first day the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries released the government stockpile of sea salt. So
People were lined up for salt?
Yes.
Wow.
Gotta get
Wait,
that
is this
salt.
like the new toilet paper kind of thing going on?
Well, it's the government stockpile, so there's no toilet stockpiles, right?
I mean, you know.
You never know.
True. Well, it was the first day the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries released their stockpile, and one citizen drove an hour to buy some of this salt. And also many expressed worry about the quality of the salt after the Fukushima water release, and so have decided to keep their own stockpile. 100 bags of 20 kilogram sea salt will be sold for 30,000 won over a period of 6 days. And many citizens responded that they were glad that sea salt, which had been difficult to come by recently, was sold at a relatively low price. And I believe today's worth was just sold out after 4 hours.
And they sold out too.
This is like I had no idea that this was a thing. So I don't even know what to say about selling out of sea salt in 4 hours. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Well, at the daily briefings, they said the salt would be safe, but it's still scary.
It's something that you would never think of, like it'll be sold out, like the shelves will be empty at the supermarkets, right?
Yeah.
Like sea salt or just salt in
I have
general.
some Himalayan salt candles like candle holders that I
carve
could
them
just
down.
grate up
Well,
if I need to.
don't be surprised now. People lining up in front of your house to get some of that salt.
Get that's Himalayan salt.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Who were amongst the people then who came to buy from the stockpile?
Right. So there were an assortment of people, including moms who were
An
quite.
assortment of people.
Yeah, I mean, we are
variety.
an assortment as
Yes.
well, including moms who were quite worried about their children consuming salt after the release. There was also a restaurant owner who was looking to buy salt for cheaper, as it was going up to like 50,000 won at some stores. Yes, quite a lot. I don't know if I'd pay that. Citizens also expressed regret at the announcement that it was one bag per person. So you could only get 20 kilograms. You can't get
Yeah.
60. And yeah, as some people had actually gone to pick up for other family members.
Oh,
But it was,
okay.
they couldn't get more than one.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what's happening in Korea right now.
Yeah.
People doing open runs for salt.
I mean, okay. I had no idea.
20
Honestly, no
kilograms
idea.
of
I don't know.
salt.
I don't know what to say. I don't even know what 20 kilograms of salt looks like. So
It's like a big podegi, like
Yeah.
a rice,
massive podegi,
rice
right?
podegi size.
Yeah. Think like, during the pandemic, everybody was buying up like toilet paper in the US, right? I guess that's kind of like a similar, but I'm sure not that extreme, but similar to what's going on here in Korea, but with salt.
But we
I
can
do
still
understand,
get salt,
though.
right?
Yeah, you can, but.
But there's just this kind of sea salt.
Yeah.
I understand though, because we have to make our kimchi, and it takes a lot of salt.
Yeah.
It does.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
Anyone needs more? I've got literally lots and lots of Himalayan salt candle holders. We can chop them up
It's a little waxy, but it'll be good.
on the inside. Outside's fine.
I'll
All
take
right,
that for a discount.
Yeah. Annie, thank you so much. That'll do it for today's rundown of News Bites. You have a good one, okay?
You too. See you
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Annie. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I won't sing it, but this is Alanis Morissette. Ironic.
An old man turned 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Used to play it safe, was afraid to fly. He packed his suitcase, kissed his kids goodbye. He waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And as the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. The good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Life is funny, boy. I'm singing about you and you think everything's okay and everything's going right. And life is a funny way. Nobody has boy, you think everything's going wrong and everything blows up in your face. The traffic jam when you're already late. A no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. And yeah, I really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride and you've already paid. It's the good advice that you helping you out, helping you out.
Alanis Morissette. That was from the album Jagged Little Pill. I'm not sure when it came out, but it was back in the day because I remember loving Alanis Morissette for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah. I always got Alanis Morissette and Sheryl Crow mixed up.
What?
When I first first started like watching MTV,
Yeah.
like in the US.
I guess I get that.
Yeah. Are you offended that I was?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Sorry.
Alanis was so cool. She didn't wear shoes. She was a hippie. She was a super hippie.
Little bit, yeah.
I was really into that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It came the day when Sheryl Crow, did you remember when she was like, wasn't she married to Kid Rock or something? Married or like going out with Kid
Yeah,
Rock? That's
yeah.
when like I saw like the difference between the two. Yeah. We have Dr. Liu asking, by the way, does the lyric go, "You're my lottery"? What part of the song does it sound like "You're my lottery"? I actually don't know all the lyrics to it.
Oh, I know all the lyrics,
Oh, you do?
but it doesn't say "You're my lottery."
Yeah. Lottery not included in the song, Dr. Liu.
Traffic jam when you're out of rain and
You're my lottery. 그렇게
all
하나?
your cigarette breaks like 10,000 spills when all you need. No, there's no
Fast forward
lottery.
the song.
There's
Yeah.
no lottery in that song.
네.
It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife.
Yeah. Dr. Yu, my wife and me are like lottery because 맞는 게 하나도 없어요. 어떡해. Aw.
헐.
어떡해. Dr. Yu,
You guys are just silly now.
Yeah.
You just guys are being silly.
it's
I don't
the
believe it for
wrong
a second.
numbers that make you stay together. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Oh, it's not. Y'all are just being silly.
Yeah.
I know that all of you out there love each other.
Yeah,
Just the way that we love you too.
we do. We love everybody listening to our radio. We love everybody tuning into our YouTube.
It's all gone awry. It's very, very. That's why we're complimentary. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. 맞는 거 없어서.
맞는 거 없어서.
It's like a magnet.
Yeah, right? Opposites attract, as
Yeah.
they say.
Anyway.
So first hour of Inside at Busan, we will fill you in on the weather.
Yes, let's do it. The mercury level, we're a bit behind time actually. The mercury level is currently averaging 23 degrees Celsius, morning lows of 23 tomorrow, afternoon highs of 26. Heavy rainfall is expected from tonight throughout tomorrow. Heavy rain expected in a very short period of time as well. So authorities are recommending staying away from streams and rivers, especially ones that are prone to flooding, and of course driving safely in the rain, etc. etc. 오늘 밤부터 내일까지 부산에는 집중호우가 예상됩니다.
네.
그래서 시간당 강한 비가 쏟아질 수 있으니 빗길 운전하시기 분들 조심하세요.
네, 꼭꼭꼭이요. 부산 지역 호우 예비 특보가 발표됐대요. 그래서 기상 예보를 미리 확인해 주시고 침수 우려 지역 조심해 주시기 바랍니다.
맞아요. 침수는 just don't go down the roads.
Yeah, anywhere you just feel like, there's not a lot of openings, right? If it's not an open space, do be careful. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion over on 수영 강병대로 from Seokdae Overpass towards Panya Agricultural Wholesale Market Junction. Congestion over on 만덕대로 from Deokcheon Junction towards Sukdeung Junction. Slow-moving traffic on Haeundae로 from Olympic Junction going towards Samho-Gaden Junction. And a 3-car collision, unfortunately, has taken place in the third lane at the entrance of the Sojongcheon Junction. Everybody,
Drive safe.
네, 부탁드릴게요.
As safe as you can.
맞습니다. 특히 이제 오늘 밤부터 비도 많이 오니까
그렇지.
be on your best behavior.
Yeah.
And I guess 집중.
집중.
On the road.
집중은 제일 중요합니다.
네.
집중은 제일 중요합니다.
그렇죠.
Okay, well, let's 집중. Let us 집중. It's time for the little 5분 상식. Time for IOB's 5분 상식, getting you in the know of the most trending and useful and need-to-know words and expressions out there. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이죠.
맞습니다. 오늘의 5분 상식은요. 건강에 독이 되는 콜레스테롤의 종류에 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
Oh my God, Minsu, look at you. Oh, take a look at your belly. What is your waist size now?
To be honest, it's like 45 inches. It's because of my late night snacking habits. Get off of me.
Minsu, you're in trouble now. Your waistline is getting as big as Santa Claus. You need to lose weight fast. So I think you should try doing yoga every day like me. Sign up to Laura's Yoga Studio.
Oh, I haven't heard the best reviews of that place, so
What?
I don't know.
What?
No, I've heard good things, but I think I'll manage my, diet. My recent health tests show that high cholesterol levels, so I am a bit worried. So I don't know. Maybe I need to stop eating meat.
Okay, but Minsu, just cutting out meat alone won't lower your cholesterol. Minsu, did you know that? They're both good and bad types of cholesterol.
Girl, 나 바보 아니거든. Cholesterol is all bad. 콜레스테롤은 다 나쁜 거라고.
아니거든. No, I'm correct. There are different types of cholesterol. There's LDL and HDL, for example. It's important to check your RC levels as well. So having excessive HDL cholesterol can be harmful as well.
너무 어려워. 뭐 LDL, HDL, RC? What is all that? I don't even believe it.
Don't you know that I graduated from pharmaceutical school? 약대 나왔잖아.
헐,
Believe it or not.
거짓말. Lies. All lies. Why are you even working here as a DJ when you studied pharmacy?
Well, the thing is, I'm better at talking than remembering anything about medicine or pharmacy stuff. I mean, you know me, I'm smart, but I just kind of like blah, 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 blah.
네, 알겠습니다.
That's true, though. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, they're like the worst of friends.
They're terrible. And it's supposed to be me and you, and yet here we are.
And we call each other by our real names too, right? What's 작가님 trying to do to us?
작가님,
She's trying to drive this wedge between
we
us,
don't
Laura.
want to 싸워.
네. 왜 이걸 싸우게
싸워 with
만들어요?
you.
서로 놀리고. 아닙니다.
멋있게.
네, cholesterol 맨날 뭐 시킨대. Cholesterol, all bad, some good. I don't know. And there's different types of it too. Tell us.
Well, there are different types of cholesterol. That's very true. LDL, or low density lipoprotein or lipoprotein, often referred to as bad cholesterol,
네.
right? It can build up in your arteries. HDL, high density lipoprotein, is considered good cholesterol because it helps remove LDL from the bloodstream.
Now, there's this new study, results on HDL, also known as good cholesterol, that was released. Can you tell us about that?
So this recent study discovered that while higher levels of HDL, high density lipoprotein, are typically beneficial for cardiovascular health, excessively elevated HDL levels in the blood could increase the risk of myocardial infarction or cardiovascular disease.
Very serious, right? 자,
Yeah.
그렇다면 잔여 콜레스테롤이라 불리는 RC는 무엇입니까?
RC. So RC is also related, obviously. It's short for remnant cholesterol. It refers to the cholesterol carried by the remnants of very low density lipoproteins, VLDL, and intermediate density lipoproteins, or IDL. So elevated levels of remnant cholesterol, or RC, they're associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease or heart disease. So to reduce remnant cholesterol, it's best to avoid, number one, trans fats found in things like margarine or shortening,
네.
fried foods, etc. And secondly,
다 맛있는 거.
맛있는 거. Choose food that is positive for your body. Things like beans and fish over processed red meats. And, have your weight in a healthy range. And remember, everybody's different. Everybody's bodies are different. But, just do what's good for you. Be smart. Make the good choices.
네, 맞아요. If you want a bit more detailed explanation in Korean, Dr. Liu has been providing it on our YouTube right now.
Dr. Liu.
아주 많은 정보입니다. Dr. Liu, how do you do that? How do you type so fast while we're talking about it, right? See? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's why we have him on our show. But he's on our YouTube today. 네, 오늘의 5분 상식. 콜레스테롤에는 좋은 콜레스테롤이라 불리는 HDL, High Density Lipoprotein과 나쁜 콜레스테롤인 LDL, Low Density Lipoprotein. 그리고 잔여 콜레스테롤인 remnant cholesterol이 있습니다. So even if it's good cholesterol, having excess levels of it still can increase the risk of things like cardiovascular disease. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래 라디오.
네가 저번 주에 온 심참인 것 같네.
22번 홀리면
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
The Insider X.
The Insider X.
Welcome. HK님, you're in the studio. Welcome for the Insider X.
안녕하십니까.
안녕하세요. Hello guys, good to see you again. I'm HK.
역시 방송에 바로 카메라 보면서 손도 흔들어주고 we didn't even do. I don't think we did that during even the
it's 'cause
show,
we're lazy.
right? HK님, always a pleasure to have you here with us. How are you today?
Very tired because these days I have so many work to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so tired right now. But
영어 하기 편한 도시에 대해서 얘기하지 말자. 너무
그쵸.
피곤할 텐데요.
하루 종일 그걸 듣잖아요. 그거에 대해서 열심히 일하고 계시는데, right?
So this English speaking or English friendly Busan.
City policy,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. But then he comes here and it's all
And
English.
he's like blah blah blah, everything English. But yeah, that project must be really tough because I'm part of it, and there's a lot of people to manage. Let me
if
tell you.
Laura's a part of it,
너무
너무 수고
힘들어.
많으십니다. 너무 수고 많으셔요,
원래
HK님.
싸울래.
yeah, that's really big reason.
Alright.
Hey,
역시
behave
역시
yourself.
방송이 이제 조크도 이렇게
Behave
치고요.
yourself, HK.
HK님 너무 좋아요, 너무 좋아요. All right, so it's great to have you here for today's Insider X, where we get to share with our listeners what's going on basically in Busan City Hall. I can't wait to get into today's topic. Shall we? Shall we start off with a story first,
Yeah,
HK님?
sure.
Let's do it.
저는 부산에 사는 40대 주부입니다. 올 7월부터 동백전 캐시백 지급 방식이 변경된다고 들었는데요. 정확히 어떤 방식으로 바뀌는지, 이렇게 바꾸는 이유는 뭔지 궁금합니다.
목소리 완전 너무 좋다.
맞습니다.
완전 우리 칭찬 장난 아니네요 오늘. So that was today's story as we get into today's subject. But do you want to introduce today's story in English for our listeners?
Yeah, she's in her 40s and housewife living in Busan. She heard that from July of this year, the cashback policy of Dongbekjeon will be changed. So she wondered how it will be changed and what is the reason of this changing. Yeah, so today I'm going to talk about Dongbekjeon, especially about the change of cashback policy, which will take effect from this July.
Yeah.
Are you on the 동백전, Laura?
I have a 동백전 card.
Oh,
really?
yeah.
I've never used it.
저도 동백전 카드 있는데, and my wife has one too. But we decided to put everything into her account. 그래서 저는 잘 안 써요. 와이프는 근데 어차피 같이 많이 다니니까, right? So she gets all the cash back. I don't know what she does with the cash
I don't know why
back.
I don't do it. It's just like laziness that I've not done it.
Yeah.
And it's such a good thing as well.
네.
But I heard about Dongbekjeon. I think if you've not heard about Dongbekjeon, you've not been living in Busan for a while. It's Busan's local currency.
네.
Most of my friends in Busan use this.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't particularly use it. My wife uses it a lot.
Yeah.
It is quite useful, she said.
Yes. According to Busan City, in March of this year, 1.1 million citizens, 110만 명, use 동백전. So
Wow.
it's approximately 1/3 of Busan citizens.
Yeah. That's a lot. A third of our city's residents using 동백전, so that means it's that popular.
Yeah.
But 1 million people.
I know, it's a lot.
That's amazing.
But then changing the policy related to Dongbekjeon that means that, over 1 million people is going to be a really important issue, a really big deal, because it's directly impacting the citizens' lives.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the reason why I choose this one. And Before I explain about today's topic, I want to just briefly talk about 동백전 itself.
Okay.
동백전 is a blockchain-based card-type local currency, and Citi launched this service on December 30 of 2019 to vitalize the local economy through the boosting of sales from small businesses.
네.
Thus, you can't use 동백전 at department stores or large supermarkets or franchisee-owned stores or businesses which aren't registered in Busan. So to use 동백전, then you can apply and charge the cars through the mobile application of 동백전, or you can also visit 부산은행 or other major banks and apply cards for it.
Yeah. So obviously, 1 million people are using this because it gives a lot of benefits,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I think all of you guys already know, but the biggest benefit of using 동백전 is cashback.
Yes. Money, money, money.
Yes. Users can get 5% of cashback on every transaction, but the limitation of using 동백전 is 300,000 won a month. 30만 원.
네.
So it means in every month you can get up to 15,000 won as a cashback. 15,000원까지 받으실 수 있습니다.
Yeah.
I knew we talk about this all the time, but I don't really pay attention to it. But people who use it, this is big information.
Yes.
It's really big
Yes.
information.
Yeah. So 5% of the cash back, 15,000 won every month. It's quite useful because if you go into a month thinking that I'm going to get 15,000원 in discounts on my things like grocery and the money I use anyway. So and it adds up like a whole year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, because of this change, many citizens will affected about it.
Yes. So starting July.
Yes, right.
This year, the changes.
So before I talk about the change itself, I want to just briefly explain why this change happened. This February, the Ministry of the Interior and Safety 행정안전부 subsidized budget to Busan City, and at the same time set a clear guidance for it. Because this policy is for support local business, small business. So they set clear guidance that big businesses such as companies with annual sales are over 3 billion won, then they restrict cashback benefit for them. So that's the reason why City make another guide for cashback policy.
Oh, okay. So I was not aware of this type of detailed background that led to this change.
Yeah. And but actually, you just mentioned the local currency policy is to revitalize the local economy through the sales in small businesses, right?
Right,
So
right.
it's to make people support small businesses because we love to shop online for next day delivery.
Yeah.
So instead, it's to incentivize people to go out and spend money on things that will make a big difference to the local economy, the local
맞아요.
people. So the government set this guidance, right?
Right. So now I want to talk about just changes of 동백전 policy.
Yes.
The biggest change is cashback rate of 동백전 will be different according to the size of businesses that you used. Currently, cashback rate of 동백전 is uniformly 5% without any consideration of the size of businesses. But from July, if you use 동백전 as small business, then you can get 7% of cashback.
Oh, okay.
So you can get 2% more.
네.
But if you use 동백전 at medium-sized businesses, especially with annual sales of 1 billion won to 3 billion won, then it's same, just 5%. But important thing is if you use 동백전 at big businesses, such as annual sales more than 3 billion won, then you can't get any cashback.
Okay. So those are the changes. So, in short, cashback rate of 동백전 5%, starting in July 5%. But you mentioned 7 for small businesses and
Yes.
5% at medium-sized
Yes.
businesses, and then those with like big businesses, no cashback.
Right.
그냥 그렇게 말하면 되겠네요.
Yes. Right.
Simple.
But important thing is it will be beneficial to citizens as well because 93% of businesses which accepted the usage of 동백전 are small businesses.
Oh, so most of the places we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then.
So that's the reason, you can get additional 2% on 93% of businesses in Busan. So
네.
yes, it believes this one is directly good for citizens as well.
그렇죠.
Yeah. So you can get 2% more cash back on 93% more of
Right.
like all of the businesses.
Yes.
So like for all of those businesses, you can get 7%.
Yeah, it's like a win-win situation, not
Yeah.
only for the consumers, but also for the
businesses.
businesses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other changes that we should know?
Yeah, second one is you can get additional 2% cashback on businesses which joined Dongbek Plus service.
What's Dongbek Plus?
Yeah, Dongbek Plus services is a new one. For small business owner who actively want to participate Dongbekjeon policy, then owner make an agreement with city that he or she will give more discounts to customers than other businesses. So for these businesses, city made an additional 2% of cashback to support this kind of business.
Nice.
I mean, that's a really good one, though. I mean, this one is for, again, citizens and business owners. So if you use small businesses that joined the Dongbek Plus service, you can get 9% cashback.
Right.
Yeah, because 9%, pretty much almost 10%. That's
Right.
huge, right, when
Yeah.
it comes to benefits for customers. So I think it's a really effective way to boost our economy in general for spenders as well as the small business owners.
Yeah.
Is there one last change that you wanted to also mention,
Yeah.
right?
Last one is the amount of Dongbekjeon that you can have will be decreased. It's a little bit bad one.
Yeah.
But before this change, you can have Dongbekjeon up to 2 million won. 200만 원까지 가지고 있을 수 있습니다.
네.
But from July, the maximum amount that you can have will be only 1.5 million won. 150만 원.
Oh, okay. This doesn't really apply to us, I guess. 저희는 그 정도까지는 쓰진 않는데, but still, people that like depend on Dongbekjeon, right? That could be kind of like
1.5 million won. That's a lot of money.
it is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Why did Busan City change the amount of Dongbekjeon that citizens can have?
Yeah, because this policy is to boost our economy. So cities want citizens to use this local currency, not just have it. So the decreasing of the limitation of the amount of currency that you have, then you can use it more actively. So that's the reason.
Okay. Yeah, so to make people want to spend more.
Yeah, spend more.
And then to help businesses trying to get those people to spend more. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a win-win situation. So changes to Dongbekjeon, the digital currency that is sponsored and promoted by Busan City. Big changes, because they are big changes, and now you are in the know of it. All thanks to our insider at Busan City Hall,
Yeah.
Mr. HK Nim.
Yay!
너무
Thank you so
수고했습니다.
much. And a lot of people, because there are, like you said, 1.1 million, it's a lot of people who use the Dongbekjeon.
Right.
It's a really important part of Busan life. And so, thank you for bringing that to our attention and sharing it with
네.
us. Yeah.
You're welcome, and I'm really pleased to join this program every week, especially with you guys, Minsu and Laura.
We
You're
are so
so
thankful for you,
sweet.
HK Nim. Thank you so
다시 한번
much.
한국말로 얘기해 주시면 안 돼요?
감사합니다.
그 감사합니다 다 담아 있습니다. Laura, don't worry.
세드.
HK Nim, thank you so much. That'll do it for today's Insider X.
See you next week.
We'll see you next week, okay?
See ya. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, music's coming on.
네,
What's
A
this?
slow creep. As we
this-
finish off the first hour of Inside Out Busan.
Is this Modest Mouse?
Yes, it is.
It is
Modest
Modest Mouse.
네.
There we go.
Float On is the name of the song. That'll do it for the first hour. We'll see you back here at 7.
I backed my car into a cop car the other day. Well, he just drove off, sometimes like a king. I ran my mouth off a bit too much. What did I say? Well, you just laughed it off. It was all okay. And we'll all float on, okay. And we'll all float on, okay. And we'll all float on, okay. And we'll all float on anyway. Well, I bet you make you took every last dime with that scam. It was worth it just to learn from slide ahead. That news comes, don't you worry, even when it lands. Good news will work its way to all them plans. We both got fired on exactly the same day. Well, we'll float on, good news is on the way.
transforming our world. Navigating toward a better future. The great transformation begins right here in Busan through the 2030 Busan World Expo. Busan will set a new course toward a better tomorrow for the Earth and for humanity. So we need your support to start a new movement.
I support.
지지합니다.
I support.
I support.
지지합니다.
I support. I support.
Busan, the city where you can experience nature, technology, and people. The one and only 2030 Busan World Expo awaits you.
See you right here in Busan.
See you right here in Busan. This campaign is brought to you by BFM 부산영어방송.
SNS 매너가 무너진 세상. SNS 매너 군법을 익혀라. 조상권. 타인의 얼굴을 보호하는 스티커 매너. 저작권. 합법적인 음원 체크. 영화 작품 유료 폰트 등을 함부로 쓰지 않는 매너. 상표권. 상표도용 판매는 불법. 비매너. 이것이 SNS 고수의 매너 권법. 매너를 지켜야 SNS가 즐거워요. 국익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 Inside Out Busan.
Welcome back. Welcome to the second hour of Inside Out Busan. I'm Laura McClucky.
I'm 민수 씨. Welcome, welcome. 왜 이런 분위기로 시작을 했죠?
I don't know. I don't know.
마음대로입니다.
Do you know what is the? I want to pull up that curtain so that we can see what the weather's like. Can you vamp while I pull it up?
Yeah, so while Laura is lifting up our curtains, our blinds here in the studio, thank you so much for joining us. Our number 2, numero dos of Inside Out Busan. So today we start off the show talking about 회식. Lots of people commenting on 회식 on our YouTube, but real quick, I want to get to some text messages. We want to give our text messengers some love. We have a message that came in from 9085님. 요즘도 회식에 술 먹고 노래방 가나요? 오, no.
아닌 것 같죠.
퇴근 후에는 집에 바로 갈 권리가 있습니다.
그렇죠.
So 9085님, not a big fan of the 술 마시고 노래방 가고 집에 가야죠. 일 마치면.
Yeah, I mean most people just want to go home.
맞아요.
Yeah.
Can you read the next one? My eyes aren't working as well.
No, I can't because I'm not even in here. Here we go.
그래요?
I've got the 관리자만. I don't have the messages.
그러면 1191님 메시지 제가 읽겠습니다. 전에는 정말 술도 꼭 마시고 아니 마시는 신용이라도 했었는데 요즘 저녁 시간 식사만 하고 끝내는 것 같아요. So before, like even though they didn't want to drink, like they had like no choice or they forced themselves to do it, but these days it's just like a dinner and that's it.
맞아요.
Finito.
Was that 9085님?
That was 1191님.
Okay.
네.
9085님 texting in as well. Did you
그걸
already read
읽었어요.
that?
That was the first message that
How
I
could
read.
you read both? How could you read one if you can't read the other?
Because
눈이 침침해요.
네, 조금.
침침해요.
조금 that second line.
아이고.
Yeah. So let us know.
민수.
Let us know what else you think about 회식s. But you know we do have to get to today's on the mic.
We do indeed. On the mic is where we send our reporters out into the wild, and at the moment it looks a bit cold and wet, but not raining at the moment.
Yeah, not too much.
They interview you, our listeners. So
네.
let's see who's on the mic today.
네, 안녕하세요. 올리비아입니다. 오늘은요, 여러분의 마음을 아주 상쾌하게 청소해줄 청소계의 척척 박사님을 모셨습니다. 안녕하세요, 대표님.
반갑습니다. 예, 저는 김남관 대표라고 합니다.
대표님 근데 왜 청소계 척척 박사이신지?
저는 사실은 청소하고 관계가 크게 없는 일을 했는데 청소 하나하나를 쓸고 닦고 이런 게 아니라 안전부터 해서 약품에 대한 성분까지 어떠한 형태로 작업을 해야 되는지 이런 것들을 개발을 하다 보니까 하나하나 알게 되면서 고객한테 만족도가 높아지는 거죠. 그러니까 고객들도 많이 물어봐요. 예를 들자면 주방을 좀 깨끗하게 하고 싶은데 후드 같은 경우 어떻게 해야 되느냐, 어떤 성분으로 집에서 할 수 있는 것들, 간단하게 만들 수 있는 것들 알려드리다 보니까 대표님은 도대체 모르는 게 뭐예요? 이렇게 이제 한 번씩 역질문을 받아요.
그럼 평소 때 댁에서도 청소나 이런 거는 다 우리 대표님이 하시는 건 아니겠죠?
아니죠.
도움은 드리겠죠?
난이도가 있는
네.
이 힘이 든다든지 이런 부분에 있어가지고는 제가 좀 도와주긴 하겠지만 그 집안일은 또 집안일 하시는 분이 있고
네. 어떻게 근데 이 일을 하시게 되셨어요?
자활기업하고 인연이 되기 전까지는 전혀 청소의 청자도 몰랐고 소독업의 소자도 몰랐었죠. 좀 어려운 시기에 주민센터를 알게 되고 주민센터에서 지역 자활센터를 연계를 해줘서 이제 알게 된 거죠. 사실 바리스타가 제가 바라던 거였어요. 근데 이제 우리 실무자님께서 김남관 씨는 방언으로 벌거지 잡는 직업이 좀 잘 어울릴 것 같다 이러면서 저한테 제안을 해주신 거예요. 소독 방역업 플러스 청소가 이제 시작을 하게 된 거죠.
마음속에는 바리스타잖아요.
커피는 좋아하긴 하는데
네.
지금 제 가지고 있는 업에 굉장히 만족하고 있습니다.
근데 그때도 그러면 그 제안을 받았을 때 그럼 한번 해봐야 되겠다 이런 마음이 드신
네.
거예요? 그렇게 시작해서 지금까지 몇 년이 지났습니까?
11년도부터 했으니까 12년 됐네요. 동료 4명과 12년째 같이 하고 있습니다.
어떤 부분이 제일 만족도가 높으세요? 받으시는 분들이?
분야가 굉장히 많은데 그중에서 취약계층의 주거 환경 개선 사업이라고 있어요. 쓰레기집 같은 집을 치워줬을 때 만족도가 굉장히 좋더라고요.
근데 저 영상에서만 봤거든요. 실제로 그런 데가 있어요?
너무 많죠. 일예로 한 가구 15평 정도 되는데 7톤 정도를 치워드린 적이 있어요. 공간이 없는, 사람이 잘 수 있는 공간이 없죠. 세상에 이런 일에 나왔던 그런 집처럼. 그런 집을 치우고 리모델링도 이제 같이 들어가고 그래서 주거복지 기업들과도 연계를 해서 콜라보를 이제 진행되는 사업들이 몇 번 있었어요.
그럼 일을 하시면서 좀 가장 행복했던 순간? 좀 가장 뿌듯했던 순간은 언제일까요?
방금 전에 말씀드렸던 그런 가구가 재방문을 했을 때에 개선이 되고 좀 정리정돈이 돼가면서 본인들부터가 청결한 환경 속에서 살아가고 계실 때 굉장히 뿌듯하고 보람을 많이 느껴요.
어려움이 많을 것 같은데 일하시면서.
그중에 가장 기억에 남으면서 보람이 느꼈던 게 형제 집안이었었어요. 정서적으로 안 좋고 정신적으로도 안 좋은 부모님 일찍 돌아가시고 진짜 쓰레기집 말 그대로 화장실에는 변이 다 내려가지 못해가지고 나이대가 20대 30대였어요. 젊은 친구들이었어요. 근데 친구 집을 개선해주고 난 다음에 이 친구들이 개선이 되더라고요. 취업도 이제 하게 되고 일자리도 이제 가지고 되면서 정상적인 그런 어떤 생활을 찾아가려고 굉장히 노력을 하더라고요. 그런 부분들을 볼 때 내가 이 일을 정말 잘하고 있구나 보람을 느끼고 있었어요.
누군가 인생이 아예 바뀐 거잖아.
그렇죠.
박사님 모셔놓고 진짜 이런 질문 드리기는 제가 너무 송구스럽지만 청소 팁이 있나요?
문틀 같은 경우는 그냥 물티슈 같은 거 우리 주로 손 닦고 이렇게 그냥 버리잖아요.
네.
그런 거 버리지 마시고 문틀 한번 쭉 닦아드리고 폐기를 하셔도 좀 도움 될 것 같고 저는 집에서 사실 큰 청소기보다는 미니 핸드 청소기가 있어요. 그걸로 이제 수시로 이제 청소를 해요.
저는 청소를 하는 걸 좋아하는데 청소를 한번 하고 나면 기분이 정말 좋아요.
네.
근데 한 2, 3일 되면 청소하기 전의 모습으로 돌아가 있거든요. 저는 어떻게 해야 될까요, 대표님?
오히려 그게 건강하신 거예요. 어지럽힐 수 있다는 건 건강한 거잖아요. 이건 다른 차원이긴 한데 쓰레기집하고는 보통 사람이 이렇게 어지럽히는 아이들이 어지럽히는 건 당연한 거잖아요.
네.
마찬가지로 아무리 성인이라 하더라도 2, 3일이 지나면 똑같은 행동을 반복하는 거는 건강하다라고 저는 볼 수 있어요.
건강한 겁니다. 마지막으로 저희 BFM 부산 영어방송 듣고 있는 청취자분들에게 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
혹시라도 저처럼 삶이 힘들고 분들이 계신다면 주민센터 방문하셔서 자활사업이라는 것을 한번 활용해 보시고요. 앞으로도 지금처럼 고객에게 진정성 있는 최선을 다해서 노력하겠습니다.
우리 척척 박사님께서 제일 좋아하는 영어 단어가 있을까요?
저는 스마일이 참 좋아요.
잘 어울려요.
네. 최근에는 이제 경로당 에어컨 세척 사업을 하고 있는데요. 나이 드신 형님들, 누님들, 어머님들, 아버님들이 딱 갔는데 인상 쓰고 있으면 좋아하겠어요? 안 좋아하죠. 네. 그리고 주거환경 개선 사업의 쓰레기집이라 하더라도 그분들이 잘못해서 그런 건 아니거든요. 우리는 그들하고 함께 하기 위해서 왔는데 그래서 스마일 괜찮아. 내가 다 해줄게. 어머니 아버지 나 작년에 왔던 각설이야. 또 왔어. 이러면은 너무 좋아하시는 거죠. 그 웃음 속에서 제가 힐링이 되고 그분들의 웃음이 에너지가 또 되는 거예요. 나를 위해서 웃는 거죠. 결국에는. 스마일 화이팅!
Smile.
스마일.
화이팅!
화이팅!
Olivia always makes people say 화이팅! 화이팅! At the end, I love it.
But
I
a different kind
love
of
it.
화이팅, very 힘찬 화이팅.
Yeah.
From today's guest, 우리 청소계 척적 박사님, 우리 김남관 대표님이었습니다. He says he's been running a cleaning company for the past 12 years and thus has the nickname of Cleaning Doctor.
Yeah.
The Doctor of Cleaning.
The Doctor of Cleaning.
The
I love
doctor
that.
is in.
청소 박사.
네.
I love that. Anyway, I love that he is into cleaning, but
Yeah.
I mean, I like cleaning.
Yeah.
But this is next level cleaning.
Oh, yeah. So that story he mentioned, like his most memorable, clean that he participated in, a home was a size of like around 50 square meters, which is not big, but removing a whopping 7 tons of garbage
Yeah.
from the place.
Yeah.
I can't imagine 7 tons.
Have
of
you ever
garbage.
seen? We were talking actually before, like during the clip a little bit, like when he mentioned that. Have you seen those TV shows like Hoarders and things like that? And people, for so many different reasons,
맞아요.
but end up with their house gaining more and more things, or they collect things, or they have a very difficult time getting rid of things.
Yeah.
And it just becomes a problem to the point where it's a health hazard.
Yeah.
And so I can only imagine what 7 tons of rubbish looks like in a small apartment.
And it's, that garbage that keeps getting piled up and piled up, that people's, like, not only their physical but also mental health starts to deteriorate.
Absolutely.
Along with the pileup of garbage. So he's almost like a literal doctor, right, for these people, going in and cleaning all that garbage out, all that trash out, to give them, like a sense of like you're getting better when like there's no trash around.
Well, when you change your environment, you give your brain a chance to alter. I mean, you change your perspective. So once you change your perspective, then you can change your mind, you can change your behaviors. And so, cleaning your house. That's why I always say, clean your room. Clean your desk.
맞아요.
Clean everything up.
It's a good habit to get into. And he mentioned, Olivia mentioned that she had a problem. She likes to clean. And after cleaning, seeing her room and house clean, 너무 속 시원한데 after 2 days, it just goes back to the way it was.
Oh, no.
But 우리 청소 박사님 says, that means you're healthy. That means, you're getting into the habit of cleaning. Still, we're human. We make a mess, but you know how to clean and when to clean, right? So, folks, don't think like, no matter how much I clean, it's always going to go back to the same way anyway. You're doing a good job, even if that's the kind of outcome.
Sometimes I feel like I'm cleaning the table or the floor or the kitchen counters like one after the other, just on a cycle.
It's just a cycle, right? But then you have kids, right? I have a kid too. So, there's variables and factors in that. But as long as we're cleaning, that's most important.
Kim 대표님 said that he loves the English word smile.
Smile.
He says he believes that when someone smiles at him, it gives them energy because it feels like they're saying everything's all right.
네.
What if they smile like this?
That's kind of creepy. And folks, you have to be on our YouTube to see how Laura's smiling right now. So if I were to tell you smile and and I saw you smiling back at me like that, I would start walking the other way.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a certain type of smile. But anyway, I really liked his positive energy.
네, 맞아요.
and
너무 힘찬 인터뷰였습니다.
I hope everybody got some 힘 from that interview.
감사합니다. 우리 김남관 대표님, and thank you to Olivia. That was today's On the Mic.
Yeah. All right, let's have a song. What's up next?
Let's do it. This is Phil Collins, Against All Odds.
Nice.
How can I just let you walk away? Just let you leave without a trace. When I stand here taking every breath with you. Ooh, you're the only one who really knew me at all. How can you just walk away from me when all I can do is watch you leave? 'Cause we shared the laughter and the pain. nothing left here to remind me, just a memory of your face. Now take a look at me now, 'cause there's just an empty space. But to wait for you is all I can do, and that's what I've gotta face. Take a good look at me now, 'cause I'll still be standing here, and you coming back to me is against all odds. It's the chance I've gotta take. Take a look at me now.
Love me some Phil Collins.
A little bit of Phil Collins.
Yeah.
I'm in.
좋죠.
In like Flynn.
네.
Love it.
Second hour of Inside Out Busan, the chill hour. That's why Phil Collins, very fitting.
Yeah.
Welcome입니다. Welcome to our show. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Right? Can't say the same for the weather though.
No?
I guess.
I
but
like
then
this
you
weather.
like the rain.
I live on the 41st floor now.
They have 41st floor buildings.
Don't even start. If I could live on the first floor, I'd be happy. But I'm on the 41st floor, which does come with benefits. For
Yeah.
example, when I open my window, 속 시원하다.
그 정도 높이 쓰면 you're getting like the airplane
So like
air.
I open my window and it's like it opens and I just put my face in. It's
like your
I
hair's
like
like
this.
blowing.
It's all the way. And so it's a free facelift. So that's what I do in the morning when I get out of bed when I'm all puffy. I open my window and it's like in
And
my
you're
face.
like the blood's all distributed like throughout your body. Okay,
and
right?
it just gives me that nice little facial in the morning. But no, it's really nice because I don't get as much of the sipki. Because it's a little bit higher, so I get more wind.
Oh, 좋겠다. But you know what? The higher you get, like the hotter it gets, though. Doesn't it?
I don't know. It's warm, but I think the high, the higher
because
you
heat
get,
rises. I heard.
heat rises.
I mean, according to science.
True, but it's like it's also 시원하다. It's also very fresh.
That's good. Yeah.
So when I open, not every day, but today it was really fresh. My front door didn't open. My son's like, the front door's not opening. I was like, no. It's just 'cause
that's right. The window's open.
It's a wind vacuum. Yeah. But anyway.
yeah.
Well, speaking of the weather, it's currently 23 degrees Celsius. Morning lows tomorrow morning of 23 and afternoon highs of 26. Now, these are average temperatures for Busan. Of course, it could be a little hotter or a little cooler, depending on where you are. However, a high rain advisory or a heavy rain advisory is going on in Busan as the monsoonal front moves south, pounding down on southern regions from this evening into tomorrow. So there's going to be around 150 millimeters an hour.
Wow.
That's 150 millimeters an hour.
Yeah, not total, an hour.
Of downpours all the way into tomorrow in some areas. So please do keep away from regions prone to flooding. And please refrain from going out as much as possible if you don't have to go out. If it's, just be safe.
Yeah.
Be safe. 부산과 경남 지역에는 현재 호우특보가 내려져 있는데요. 외출은 되도록 하지 마시고요. 안 나가도 되면 나가지 마시고 비 피해가 없도록 안전에 주의해 주시기 바랍니다.
네, 비가 엄청 내려온대요. When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on Taeyonglo from Busan Tunnel towards Yeongju Junction. There's also congestion over on Haeundae-ro from Sentum High School going towards Wondong Interchange. Slow-moving traffic on Pansonglo from Kumsa Station going towards Kumsa Junction. 그래서 everybody
drive safe.
부탁드릴게요.
Yeah.
Laura, we have a bunch of messages on our YouTube.
A bunch, 진짜?
A bunch and a bunch.
아니, I can't see it.
Oh, 그래요?
Look at that. Oh, yeah. All about what? 동백전?
I mean, we got people commenting on 동백전, but also, I guess, people commenting on our text topic, right? 회식.
회식.
네.
Do you like 회식?
I mean, I don't mind it every now and then, right? I agreed with 우리 장효원님 saying 직장에서는 회식이 필요한다고 합니다. 회식하고 나면 동료애가 더 돈독해지는 것 같아요. So
Is that the same as 친해지기?
네, 그렇죠. 서로 친해지고 like the sense of like camaraderie, you know, amongst just workers, right? Your coworkers. That happens usually at the 회식. So in that sense, I could see why it's needed. Like I remember before here at BFM, like every new season when they had new reporters, we usually had like a 회식, right? To kind of, you know, welcome them and stuff. And obviously after the pandemic, these kinds of get-togethers had dwindled. But I'm down to have one again. We hadn't had one in a while.
회식하자. Let's do one in the studio.
좋아요. A studio party.
Studio party.
Why not?
And let's do it on Zoom so we can have a party with all our listeners and we can see everybody. And let's get a little bottle.
방송 중에 파티는 이건 좀 힘들 것 같아요.
아니,
Because,
할 수 있어요.
You know, we
Just
have
don't tell
people-
anybody.
Just don't tell anybody.
Just
We're
don't-
live on air.
Don't tell our bosses.
네. We have 그리고 우리 류 원장님 saying 회식 추천 장소 볼링장, 스크린 야구장, 극장.
좋아요.
So a lot of 장s.
짱이네,
for 회식.
짱.
네. So doing it, you know, not only at like restaurants or bars, right?
Doing it in the 장.
Okay. We have 토끼님 saying 회식 2달이나 석 달에 한 번 정도 괜찮은 나도 근데 괜찮음. So basically 회식 every 2-3 months is fine.
I think so. And I think as long as it's not a 회식 where you are forced to go out and drink or forced to stay out past a certain amount of time.
네.
You know, if everyone's like, right, where are we going to go? Let's go and enjoy. Let's have a chat. Let's get to know each other. Let's team build. I think that's okay.
Yeah, right. And if you're doing that over 회식, why not?
Yeah.
I like it. 그리고 마지막으로 우리 Wheeler Karma님, he is combining our text topic and what we talked about with HK님. 회식비 계산할 때 동백전 사용하면 더 좋아요.
그치?
네, 진짜 똑똑한 것입니다.
네.
Right? You save money on the 회식 as well, helping out the small businesses.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all your messages.
I like it.
Party going on over on our YouTubes.
Yeah.
네. So Laura, it's Thursday.
It is Thursday, which means it's time for us all to get a little bit healthier in the whole brain and body.
네.
Because 오정아 원장님 is in our studio.
Time.
오정아의
네. 마음 톡톡.
마음
Oh,
톡톡.
that's why we.
I was waiting.
네.
Alright.
We
Hello
missed this.
everyone.
원장님 감사합니다 for coming in.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
네.
Hello everyone. I'm happy back to so happy to be back for this segment. This is 오정아 from Chicago Therapeutic Center, Chicago 심신치유 센터.
네, 원장님
Welcome.
웰컴입니다.
Welcome.
오정아의 마음 톡톡, Mind Talk Talk is the name of the segment that we have. So this is, you know, a chance for us to, because we take. When's your segment? Yesterday on Wednesdays, we focus more on like the overall, especially when it comes to like our like the health when it comes to our bodies, right?
Yeah.
Through me time. Through this time, we get to focus on a little bit about our minds, especially relationships. I feel like that's been a good focus of our time with 우리 오정아 원장님. 원장님, what are we focusing on today?
Yeah, there is a sibling issue to share. Let's learn more about this with today's story.
All right, let's get to it.
My younger sister, Linda, got married a few years ago, and her husband, John, has always been a bit overbearing. He constantly criticizes her parenting choices and frequently cancels family plans at the last minute. It has reached a point where we rarely see Linda or our nephew, and it's tearing our family apart. As a concerned sister, I have tried to offer support and advice to Linda, but she seems reluctant to listen. She often defends John's actions and dismisses my concerns. How can I support her without causing further conflict or driving her away?
이거 그건 좀 어렵다. 네.
That's a 가족 with a 가족.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right. So, all right, let's refer to this writer as Helen. I'm sorry, Helen, to hear that you are going through such a challenging situation with your sister Linda and a brother-in-law John. It could be a concerning situation that it, may leave you feeling frustrated.
Yeah.
So, Minsu,
네.
let me ask you this: if you were Helen, what would you do?
What would you do,
Whoa.
Minsu?
Well, you guys know me being the very,
Pacifist.
very confrontational type, right? 근데, you know, last week you practiced with me being able to kind of speak my mind more, right? So if I was Helen, if I was Linda's sister, and she wasn't like speaking to me, and you know, because you mentioned that she defends her husband's actions, so obviously sister, you know, I guess, you know, back to back, you know, go back and forth going on. If it was me, I wouldn't try to like maybe force to like be direct. Maybe be having trying to open up a lot more opportunities with me and Linda and her husband and her whole family, because you mentioned that they're not seeing each other a lot, right? 그래서 핑계를 해서 이렇게 억지로 그냥 시츄에이션을 만들어서 to be able to see more of each other. And then through that, I think through more family time, kind of when she lets her guard down, 그때 말을 한 번 더 꺼낼 것 같아요. Yeah. If it was me, the very confrontational type.
So, Laura, how about you?
I'd be right in there. I'd be right in there. And so what I would do first, this is like my 실제로, I would gossip to my mom about it. I would complain to my mom and I would say, what do you think? What is the situation here? And how can we deal with this? Because John is out of control. Let's get him. I wouldn't go that far. And then I would just speak directly to Linda. I would just go and visit her. Just go and visit and say, let's
Like,
go out for
knock on the
coffee.
door?
Tok. Yeah. 여보세요? And be like, listen, I'm really concerned. I'm concerned about you. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Is there anything that you need to talk to me about? I'm not going to give you advice. I'm here to listen.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of the time when we're in a situation and we don't feel good about it, so it says like John is very overbearing. So she must be feeling kind of worn down, Linda. And so I would say I wouldn't try and give any advice. I wouldn't try and say you should do this or you should do that, because maybe that's just not helpful.
Yeah.
And just listen and say, what's going on?
Okay.
Like, tell me what's going on.
Yeah. Well, it seems that for both of us, 가만히 있는 거는 좀 아니다. Like, just not doing anything is not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
Depending, you know, of course, what me and Laura think.
Yeah.
네.
All right, so we will more talk about what Helen can do later. So based on what Helen expressed about the situation between Linda and her husband John, he might be gaslighting her.
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
So the psychological term gaslighting originated from a thriller movie written by Patrick Hamilton in 1938.
Wow.
The movie is about the girl named Emma who moves into a strange house. Her family makes her doubt her own sanity by manipulating her perceptions. So Emma uncovers the truth and learns to trust herself because of her friend.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know gaslighting was
From
the
back in the
1930s.
day. Yeah,
right?
because it's only recently become a very popular, very mainstream thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But a lot of people talk about it. It's very much in the common vernacular these days. What is gaslighting?
Gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse in which a person or group causes someone to question their own sanity, memories, or perception of reality. So gaslighting은 심리적 학대로서 그 사람의 정신 상태, 기억들 그리고 현실감에 대한 의문을 갖게 만드는 것을 얘기를 합니다.
네.
So people who experience gaslighting may feel confused, anxious, or as though they cannot trust themselves. as we talked about unhealthy interpersonal relationships last week, gaslighting is a form of exploitative relationship.
And exploitative relationship is also a type of toxic relationship we talked about last week too, right?
Right. So yeah, means you have always good memory.
Of course.
As a reminder, it refers to people who manipulate others for their own benefit. So here is a true or false quiz.
okay.
So maybe our listeners can send in their response too.
Okay.
So everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay, listen carefully. Here is a statement. I did it because I love you. 난 너를 사랑하기 때문에 이렇게 한 거야. Is it a gaslighting statement or not? True or false?
Oh.
I
did it because I love you.
Is it gaslighting? I would say yes. I would say that's gaslighting. That's very manipulative.
I did it because I love you.
If it's for a
사랑하기
good
때문에.
thing, 사랑하기 때문에 했어요. If
네.
it's something that they did that's nice, like I bought you these roses because I love you.
That
That's
makes
okay.
sense. Yeah.
I did it because I love you. Oh, why'd you clean the dishes? Because I love you. Okay.
Yeah. But if it's like a situation like, you know, I on purpose told all your friends to get lost.
Yeah, because
right?
I love you.
Because I love you and I only
Yeah.
want to spend time with you, then that will be gaslighting.
나쁘다.
네. But overall, that statement, I would have to agree with Laura. Gaslighting, that term, I did it because I love you. True. gaslighting 것 같아요.
Listeners,
Yes.
what do you think?
Yeah.
So it's actually true. So if someone repeatedly use this phrase to justify harmful or abuse behavior while dismissing the concerns or emotions of the other person, it can be a form of gaslighting.
Okay.
So the thing is, though, how does Linda know if she's actually experiencing gaslighting by her husband? Because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know, right? But how would Linda determine that?
Sure. So here are some examples to think about. So he is constantly undermining her parenting choices and says things like, you have no idea how to handle or treat our baby. In that vein, he makes her doubt her abilities as a mother. In addition, 사실을 부인하고 상대가 잘못 기억하고 있다고 뒤집어 씌우면서 상대를 혼란스럽게 만드는 경우가 있습니다. 예를 들어서 he might deny mistreating her and say something like, I never yelled at you. You must be remembering wrong or make it up to make me look bad. Something like that will make her doubt her own memory of events.
맞아요. 왜냐면, you know, when people say that, 내가 진짜 그랬나? Right? You begin to doubt yourself. Right? Yeah. Any other examples maybe you can share with us?
So he might blame her for problems in their relationship and say something like, if you weren't so sensitive, we wouldn't have these problems. In that way, he makes her question, am I the cause of our relationship problem? 내가 우리 관계의 문제적 원인인가? 이런 식으로 스스로 자책하거나 의문을 갖게 만들죠. Furthermore, if he is discouraging her from seeking advice or support from others, making her believe that he is the only one who truly understands her, he might be gaslighting her.
Yeah. Okay. So these are like prime examples, but I feel like if you are in a relationship and especially if it's family, because I feel like this is something that you've been probably hearing for years and years, not just like from your husband, let's say from like your parents or your siblings or your cousins, right?
Right.
So let's say, 원장님, then if John is really gaslighting her, what is Linda supposed to do?
Yeah, first of all, in that situation, Linda might lose her self-confidence, self-esteem, and well-being. So I like to let them know that you are not the problem. And the situation is not your fault. If you sense manipulating from him, it's important to trust your intuition and speak up for yourself. So, Minsu, if you were Helen, how would you address the issue to Linda?
So if I was Helen and then I came to realize that John is gaslighting, wait, I got confused. Linda is my sister, right? So if I was Helen, I would try to, I guess, like kind of talk her, because see, this is weird. Like then I sound like I'm trying to gaslight Linda into like, you know, not breaking up with her husband because you mentioned they have a kid and everything, but you know, like going against her husband or like, you know, kind of like fighting back, you know, in that sense. Oh, this is hard.
It is hard.
어떻게 해야 되지?
Yes.
I think I would be different. I wouldn't try and change her mind for anything else. I would focus on building up her self-esteem, and I would focus on reversing that gaslighting and changing those beliefs that she might have developed about herself, so that she's more mentally willing and capable of making those changes for herself.
Yeah. So like not saying, you know, John is wrong.
No. There's
But
no
saying
point.
that, but that's not you, right? You know, you're
just-
more than that.
I wouldn't even say that's not you. I would just say, you're such a good mother. I would just find lots of opportunities to really instill positive, like positive values, positive beliefs. And I would tell her, I would say things like, tell me about some things that you're really proud of yourself. And I would encourage her to reflect on the positives that she sees in herself as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, right?
That's a good example. So I'd like to suggest something that Helen or any of our listeners can do in a similar situation. So with your love and concern, let Linda know that you genuinely miss the moments or you used to enjoy together. In that conversation, it's better not to point out John's behaviors because she might feel offended or drive her away. So be patient and just wait until she talks about her husband and marriage overall. So you can ask her something like, how is your marriage? How are things going with John? That way she may feel less confronted and open up more easily.
Yeah. So like Laura said, you know, not bring up John at all and just be very supportive. That would make Linda feel like, oh, if I come to my sister, if I come to Helen, you know, I feel better about myself. I feel good about myself. And if she knows that, you know, I have this thing going on with my husband, you know, I don't feel good about myself, then she'd be more willing to open that up for conversation with Linda, right? That's a good way to get things talking.
Yeah.
What else can Helen do?
It's crucial to give Linda the sense that you are available to listen if she wants to talk about anything. You can say something like, if you ever want to talk or need a listening ear, I'm always available. Offering her like support and a non-judgmental space to share her thoughts and emotions can provide her with comfort and relief. So in addition, let her know that you are willing to help with like taking care of her kids whenever she needs a break or any assistance.
And of course, you know, it's always nice to hear, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
You always appreciate when someone offers you support, right? Yeah.
Especially coming from a sister.
Yeah.
Right. I think so. So if you want, you can offer her advice or suggestions, but in the end, it's up to your sister to decide what's best for her. Adults have the right to make their own decisions in their lives, even if you may not fully agree. So respecting her choices means showing understanding and support. So it's important to maintain a loving and supportive bond with your sister no matter what. So when Linda asks you for help, you can always help her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think as well, just important to not discuss John when Linda asks for help. Just be like, sure, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Like,
Just
not
be
bring up
open
John.
to
Yeah.
hearing. And eventually, if it is bothering Helen, right? Or I mean, if it is bothering Linda, she'll eventually bring it
Yeah,
up.
she'll
And
talk.
then you could, you know, offer your help specifically with John. Yeah, good to know. 원장님, we have, because you mentioned, you gave that little quiz to our listeners. Because I love you, right? I did this. 우리 박재형 님이 on our YouTube saying, 사랑하기 때문에 헤어지는 것은 가스라이팅입니까? 라고 물어보는데요.
사랑하기 때문에 헤어진다.
사랑하기 때문에 헤어진다. It's because I love you so much that
케바케 아니에요.
we need to break up. 네.
네, 그 말만 들어서는
네.
왜냐하면은 I did it because I love you.
Yeah.
이게 뭐 로라가 얘기한 것처럼 뭐 이렇게 꽃을 갖다 주고 좋은 걸 하면서 하면은 이게 좋은 건데
네.
뭐 이렇게 안 좋은 상황에서 계속 나 때리고 이렇게 막,
네네네네.
like physical abuse or
Yeah.
verbal abuse
Uh-huh.
and then like I did it because I love you. That doesn't
Okay.
make sense.
Yeah.
And so
I broke up with you because I love you. Is that gaslighting then?
I feel like it is because
Yeah.
if you say those words, if he or she loves me, that's why he or she's breaking up with me. Then if the person that's 당행 the breakup, right? If they are breaking up with me, I feel like then is there something wrong with me that even though he loves me, he or she needs to break up with me?
But then on the other side, if someone is genuinely like, you deserve better than me, I love you so much, the best thing for you is for you not to be with me. But then why say it?
Yeah.
You know, why would you say, if it wasn't gaslighting, if you really loved the person, then maybe you wouldn't tell them.
Yeah.
사랑하기 때문에 헤어지는 거예요.
네.
그렇게 말하면 사랑하는 것이 아니에요. 그거는 스트레스 주는 거예요. 그래서
그쵸.
진짜 사랑하면
네.
아무 말 없이 그냥 헤어지고. You don't say it's because I love you.
Yeah.
That's toxic.
Yeah, I think it can be manipulating
Yeah.
your partner because your partner can feel really anxious about it.
Yeah.
And, so like even if like you don't think that I'm going to break up, but just to see how the person your parents will, your partner will reaction about the the statement and the person says, and so it could be.
맞아요.
gaslighting. It can be.
Well, 박재현님, there you go. 사랑하기 때문에 헤어지는 것은 if it's not like a good thing, like the end result of the 사랑하기 때문에, then
It's
being manipulative, being very
톡식이에요. 톡식.
not genuine, not true to the person
Don't
that
be
you're saying
toxic.
it to.
That's basic 101. Don't
네.
be toxic.
네, 맞아요.
People don't realize they're being toxic a lot of the time though, because that's what they learned as they grew up.
That's why we need to have eyes to point out who's toxic in our lives.
When we know better, we do better. But
맞아요.
when we know what we know, that's all we can do.
And we know better because of our Thursday second hour guest 원장님.
맞습니다.
원장님 오늘도 너무 수고했습니다. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
today.
Okay, I will see you next Thursday then.
Yes.
Yes. See you next week.
Okay,
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 Inside Out 부산의 품격 있는 Writer Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in 거제동 and 연산동, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
It's now time for quote unquote.
Yes, indeed. Quote unquote. This is the segment we do every day at this time where Minsu and I, and on a Friday, Steve brings in some quotes, some clips. Sometimes we bring clips, sometimes we don't. But it's things, words that have inspired us, or phrases that have inspired us, or maybe motivated us, or maybe just caused us to think a little bit differently. So today I brought a clip for you, and it's The Rock.
Yes, ma'am.
I knew you were going to do that. Well, that's why I wrote The Rock on the clip. So it's by The Rock and Oprah. So let's take a listen first. Maybe you can catch what the quote is.
All right.
I'm not super strict, but discipline is important. But also, you know, I'll go back to my dad. My dad loved me with the small capacity in which he was capable of. So I learned from that, and so with my daughters, I want to be as full and as present with the love that I give them.
Present,
So,
yes.
yes.
That's what we've been talking about. What do you want to make sure that they get that you didn't get? And it's so interesting when you have children, I've seen this from a lot of people, who you didn't get what you needed. You just didn't get what you needed because of what The Rock just said. Your parents didn't have the capacity to give it to you. And now that you're older, you have to learn to give that to yourself and to be able to give that to your children in a way that you don't carry on what was done to you. So what is it you want your daughters to know about the way you love them?
I want my daughters to know that I love them unconditionally, truly unconditionally, without condition. And I have a daughter who's 18 years old. Her name is Simone. Jasmine, who just turned 4.
Tiana.
Baby Tiana, thank you, who is getting ready to turn 2. And I am, as I told my 18-year-old daughter Simone, I said, I love you. I'm going to tell you I love you every day. I'm going to text you I love you.
So you're one of those say the words out loud.
Yes, because I didn't get that. And I will look at you, I love you, and I'm going to text you. But I also told her, I'm unattached. You don't even have to text me back, right? You could text me back, it's fine, but you don't have to. Like, it's okay. It's without condition. It's unconditional love. And I also want to teach my daughters the value of hard work. More importantly, I want to teach my daughters the value of being kind and how important that is.
Do you know what the quote?
Well, I feel like it's going to be on the unconditional love.
Yes!
Oh, is that the quote? Well, I mean
That's
the focus term of the day, unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, obviously that's not like a quote, I
Yeah.
guess, but unconditional love is a term that people say a lot. And actually it goes kind of with what 원장님 was talking about. Because unconditional love, I just wanted to know, first of all, do you think it's real and possible?
Unconditional love, yes. Because I can confidently say that I will love my daughter, I love my kid, no matter what.
Really?
I feel like that's what unconditional love is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no matter what.
No matter what.
Really?
Yeah. Like you could think the worst thing like my daughter can do. And of course, like I'll be so angry with her about it, but my like love for her will always be there.
See, here's the thing. I think that that's not true.
Really? I mean, of
Because-
course, knock on wood, I'll never be in that situation.
Yeah, because I
but-
would like to believe that as well.
Yeah.
I would really like to believe that that is a real, true thing. But unconditional love, I feel like that people say it, I love you unconditionally. And that's like an ideal circumstance. But I think there should be conditions to what you are willing to put yourself through for somebody else.
Okay.
So I'm not thinking about when your kids are children, but for
Okay.
example, if your daughter grew up to be like a really, really, really terrible person, which I know she won't because she's got beautiful parents and it'll just never happen. But so you better get to work.
Yeah.
But like if anybody grew up to be a terrible, terrible person, could you still say that you love them unconditionally?
Yeah, because see, I'm not thinking like I'm picturing right now my just current situation in my relationship with my daughter, and of course she's very young. But like you said, when time passes and she becomes an adult, and the choices that she makes, as a parent, am I going to be able to continue to show her that unconditional love? Yeah, I don't know if I could confidently say.
And that's the thing, right? So I think that unconditional love is the ideal that I would like to have for my children, of course. And my husband as well. I don't have any conditions for why I love him. Like, I don't love him because of anything other than he is the person that I chose to grow old together with, just because I love him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no condition to it. However, there is condition to it because I would, well, maybe it wouldn't be. And this is quite confusing. So unconditional love is like, I don't know, I want to dissect it, but I think if you love someone unconditionally, then it means that you're willing to put up with every single thing that they do and still love them. And then that asks that begs the question. So can you hate someone but still love them?
Yeah. We have Lee Kelly chiming in saying, he says he thinks he could. You will still love the person, not necessarily their actions.
Yeah, but can you separate it though? Think about it. Think about the person and the actions. Can you separate? If somebody's done something that's so heinous, can you separate their actions from their behavior?
Yeah, that's hard.
I don't know.
Makes you think.
You know, I love true crime, right? So I love watching these true crime things. And there was, and this was recently, and there was a daughter, and I won't go into details, very, very sad case, but anyway, an older daughter killed a younger sibling. And she was in a state of mania, apparently, and so very, very sad. But how is the mother then going to be able to repair and reconcile herself with the daughter's actions that have caused such great pain that took away the younger
can't
sibling?
imagine.
So
Can't imagine.
here's the thing, unconditional love. I think we aspire to it. I think we hope that we could do it. But I don't know if it's a real thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thinker, right? There's no, and everybody else has different standards when it
Yeah, of
comes to
course.
unconditional love. So we already have like listener Joey saying, if I have a daughter, I give her unconditional love.
Of course.
Yeah, I would. Now that I would love to say that as a parent, but later down the line, with the situations that Laura put out, can we really say that?
And that's the thing, me too. I mean, I love my children unconditionally. Even when my son is being, I still love him unconditionally.
그래 말이에요.
Anyway,
Yeah.
something to think about.
It is something to think about. Oh, you brought us a thinker today, Laura. Appreciate that. You know, we always like
어렵네요.
things that aren't clear an answer.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. That'll do it for the show today. We do want to let Chang Hyung-won-nim on our YouTube know that you are a gift receiver.
Woo-woo!
Congratulations. We'll get in touch with you. Our last track, this one's a song by you. Not by you, but requested by you.
Kiss the Rain by Billy Myers.
네.
Love it. Produced by Kim Yoo-en, written by Im Soo-jin, hosted by Laura McCluskey.
And Min Soo-shin.
Night-night.
Bye.
There's a late there. There's a laughter on the line. Are you sure you're there alone? 'Cause I'm trying to explain. Something's wrong. You just don't